Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. This is an interview with Darlene Delisi Karamanos, who came to the Arunachala Ashrama in Nova Scotia, Canada in the 1970s. Darlene is totally devoted to Bhagavan and has been taking care of the temple and devotees visiting the ashrama for many years now. Namaskar, Darlene.
Namaskar, Anjani.
Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us and share your experiences about Bhagavan. To start off, could you please tell us when and how Ramana Maharshi first came into your life?
Well, it seems, looking back on it in retrospect, he came into my life before I even knew his name. And I can explain that to you if you'd
Of
like.
course, please.
I was in Chicago at the time, and a boyfriend wanted to go to Nova Scotia. I had never heard of Nova Scotia before, but it looked interesting on the map. And even before that, in university, I had studied world religions and never heard of Ramana Maharshi. So I didn't even know about his center here or his teachings, but I had been meditating before for years, and it was the transcendental meditation, and that's all I wanted to do, was to turn within and meditate. I wasn't interested in workshops or courses like that, so that was in the background, you'd say. And then when I heard about Nova Scotia, it looked so interesting on the map, surrounded by water, very beautiful. And so we were going to go visit, and I broke up with that guy. And then I was talking to a Presbyterian minister, and he said, I thought you were going to go to Nova Scotia. And I said, I would still like to, but broke up with so and so. And he goes, well, I have a friend who lives there, and I'm sure you could stay with them. So that, one door closed and another one opened. And so I came up here, did stay with that family, took care of their farm. It was a husband and wife and child, while they went and did some business in the States. And the woman there said, oh, the elementary school has a really nice principal, very good with children. The whole school atmosphere is good. You may want to apply for a job. They had been looking for a learning disabilities teacher the year before I came. So coming in with credentials, I was able to come to Canada, live in Canada, and I thought I would try it for a year. So that's how I came to Nova Scotia. But how I met Joan and Matthew and Dennis was that we had mutual friends, just a little. Where I ended up was a few kilometers from the ashram. But even then, I didn't know the people there. But we were at a mutual friend's house, and it became kind of rainy and stormy. And they said, oh, we'll just do our evening chanting and meditation here. So everyone who was there did it. And then they said they had a little meditation hall, told me about the ashram, and that I could come anytime I wanted. So that's how I first came to the ashram. And even then, I was not interested in hearing about the teachings of Ramana Maharshi because, In the 70s, there were so many gurus and so many teachers, and really, I had enough of that. I just wanted to turn within. And so it was after some time when I looked at Bhagavan's picture one time and I said, "Okay, let me hear what you're saying." And that's when I started to find out more about his teachings. And what does Bhagavan say but to turn within? So, how perfect is that? And yeah, you know, Bhagavan came to me, I think, way before I came to him. And someone had told me just recently, a couple years ago, they said, "Your meditation brought you here." And that sounded like that could be true, you know? So, yeah. So, first, I was hearing Bhagavan's the simplicity and the beauty of his teachings that drew me. And then when I read about his life and how he treated animals and people, I mean, you can't help but love him. I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I know you live in Bridgetown, Nova Scotia, very close to the Arunachala Ashrama Ramana Mandiram there. And you've been the primary caretaker of the ashram for many, many years now. Um, how did this responsibility come to you and when?
I don't know. He just kept me here. That's all I can say. I don't know. I don't know.
So, what does like a typical day of your service at the ashram look like?
Well, we have prayers morning and evening. So I'm not an early morning person anymore. I used to be when my children were small and I had to, get them ready for school and try and do prayers early in the morning. But now I go later, about 9, and we recite Mother's names and have a meditation and a reading of Bhagavan's teachings. And then we meet at 4 o'clock in the winter, 5 o'clock in the summer, for listening to the Vedas or the Tamil Parayana and a meditation and a reading. So that's the rhythm of the day here.
Yeah. So, I know you've raised two sons and have had
Mm.
a career as a teacher. I'm curious to know how you balanced, your family responsibilities, your professional, career, as well as taking care of the ashram, and more importantly, the visiting devotees. You are so, kind and take care of them with so much love. So I'm curious to know how you balanced it, especially when the children were younger, like you said earlier. Yeah.
Well, you give time to what's important to you. You have to make time for what's important to you. So, with that in mind, it works out. We just do the best we can. That's all. It's not perfect, but we do the best we can. Yeah.
So now I'm going to throw a rather large question at you. Um, what does Bhagavan mean to you today?
Mm. Mm. Bhagavan is the core of my being. Yeah. It's hard to express it any more than that. Yeah. the core of my being, he's the core of your being. So, yeah.
Is there anything, any particular incident that touched you deeply, or any experience um, that, either with the ashram or Bhagwan in your personal life, or while you are, serving the devotees, that you'd like to share with us?
Well, why I love being at the ashram and seeing devotees come is that, there are many people who come who have never heard of Bhagavan before. And when a visitor is somewhat interested and they say they want to come and visit the ashram to see it, we always take them to the mandiram first. And walking in with those new people and having them just walk into the temple, you know, it for many people, it takes their breath away. And that is so uh, touching to me. They, you know, it's not the pictures, it's not the statue of Bhagavan that we have. It's really Bhagavan's presence in the mandiram that touches them deeply. And it's so wonderful to see. They just some their mouth just drops, or some they just, you know, you know that they feel Bhagavan's presence in the mandiram. And it's very, very beautiful, and it's very satisfying to be able to lead them to the door. That's all. It's Bhagavan's doing. But yeah, it's a wonderful experience to have Ranjani. Mm.
I'm sure. And I've had the good fortune of experiencing it as well, when, it
Mm.
is such a special place. There's just a deep silence and
Mm.
quiet there that really touches you to the core. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why we keep it open. We keep the mandiram open from 9 until about 5, and people unlocked is what I mean. We keep it unlocked, and people can just come and sit there whenever they want. Sometimes people drive and bring their families and do their own prayers. Other times, people just come and sit. So they don't need to call to make a reservation to let us know. It's just open and so available to them, like Bhagavan was so available, right, to people. Of course, if they want to stay overnight, they need to, let us know ahead of time. But yeah, yeah.
So, my last question is, what are your hopes for the future of the Nova Scotia Arunachal Ashram?
Oh, we'll just see what Bhagavan has in mind. It's his ashram, whatever he's going to do. Of course, I would love to see it continue. And now with Anil and Vijaya here, with Dennis back, that's all. That's good. That's good news. So we'll see what he has in store, Anjani, right? I mean,
Absolutely. Bhagwan will take care of his ashram. That's,
that's
that's
right.
right. That's
That's
the
right.
experience. So, yeah.
And over the years, 50 plus years, time and time again, we all see that it is his ashram, and he solves whatever needs to be solved. Over and over again, we see it. So we'll see what's going to happen in the next 50 years, or we won't see.
Thank you, Darlene. Thank you so much. On behalf of Bhagwan devotees, I want to thank you for, sharing a little bit about your journey with Bhagwan. And I hope, we get to do this again and talk much more in detail.
We will when you come and visit again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. Namaskar.
Namaskar, Anjani.